Hello, hello, everyone. How are you doing, Paradox? Yes, Paradox. That's great information, brother or sister. I think brother. Anyways, hello, hello, wonderful family. How are y'all? So, recent events and everything. You know, I'm not going to go into it because we all know what's going on. I even had to get calmed down from my brother also because of what's going on. But I wanted to do this stream on scavenging and reusing because in the times and everything like this, I mean, not technically in times, but if a survival situation, an SHTF situation, something like that. There is so many man-made objects that is usable. Hey, big bro. Speaking of, there he is. And if none of y'all know who Darius Lives is, he is my wonderful, wonderful big brother from the UK. He is he's very intellectual. He's intellectual, but he's intellectual on a common knowledge scale. He can talk to you with the biggest words or the dumbest words, but he still gets his point across. He is smart, he's calculated, everything. Um, but y'all need to go and find him. His YouTube channel is his name, Darius Lives. But anyways, um, yeah. Hey, Ron, how you doing, brother? So, anyways, on this, things happen from a survival standpoint, from a bush crafting standpoint, from any kind of standpoint. It doesn't matter where you're at. Hey, Ron, brother. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can be in the God knows where back country, or you could be right outside of a city. Human remnants will always be around. Human trash will always be around. And most of the time on deserted islands, stuff like that, everything washes up on shore. Um, you can look at any of the Philippine islands, you can look at any of the islands between Australia, Japan, a lot of the deserted, you know, Taiwanese islands, stuff like that, you will see thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of trash that has washed up on shore. And the same thing anywhere else. You can be in the middle of the woods, you could be wherever. Yes, trash. Trash is everywhere. But is also a good thing too. Um, The majority of stuff is going to is going to be plastic. Um, yes, the good thing about plastic, I mean, it can be used for multiple different things. I mean, it has a sealed lid on it if it's a plastic bottle. Um, it can be a water container if you don't have water. It can be used as fish traps. It can be used as bird traps. I mean, there is thousands and thousands of uses for plastic. And even you can take plastic bottles and your knife blade and literally make rope out of plastic. I mean, it's usable. And I know there's a lot of holy grail bushcrafters out there that say, oh, this stuff's killing the planet. Don't use it. Get rid of it. Whatever. Hey, Derek, how you doing, brother? But the thing is, yeah, if you're going out daily camping or whatever, yeah, clean up, do the Boy Scout motto of leave the area how you found it. And that means getting rid of plastic, getting rid of trash, stuff like that. But you can't be everywhere at one time. And for every one person that cleans up, there's going to be 20 others that's going to come back to that same spot and make another mess. Um, so put your scavenging skills to the test because it's going to be out there. Whether you're a bushcrafter, you're an urban survivalist, you're whatever, that stuff comes in handy. Um, there's tarps that take the hobo mentality. If something happens, use what you think is needed. Don't go and stock up on every little piece of whatever out there, um, because it's going to weigh you down. It's bulky. It's plastic. It's lightweight, but a majority of it is bulky. Then it starts weighing you down, and it starts to encumber you. Um, Anything else, like whatever you can find, if you're at a stream, if you're at a river, and you're trying to find food or you're trying to find whatever, always search the river, the creek bed. Search the river bed. Search the nearby trees, stuff like that. Because if you're there, that means somebody else has been there before. And most of the time, you're going to find fishing equipment. You're going to find fishing string. You're going to find hooks. You're going to find lures. Um, that also comes into play to help you also. Not only does fishing string help with anything from snares to fishing what it's meant to be fishing line, you can make snares out of it. You can literally use fishing line, and people say, oh, it's dirty, it's been outside, whatever. But if you have an open, gaping wound on your leg and all you have is a fishing hook and fishing string, it's better to suck up the pain and sew yourself up instead of bleeding out. And fishing string will do that temporarily. It will hold your skin together enough. Ron, Ron, go outside and find a branch and whittle a spoon out, sir. That's what you need to do. You have a pocket knife, you can do it, but that is the majority of stuff that you're going to find in the wilderness. You may come across somebody that's dropped a pocket knife. You may come across somebody. This is a, what if scenario, and I know Dave's probably going to be like, stop thinking like that, but there is a lot of hillbillies in certain wilderness areas, like here in America and stuff like that. They have cache systems where they will bury a 5 gallon bucket or something in a wooded area. And if bad times happens and they got to bug out or whatever, they have that catchment system to go and get. But you know what? If you're in a survival situation and you find that bucket first, take that bucket. Take it with you no matter what. And you are probably going to find a plastic bucket. You're probably going to find a lot of things out in the wilderness. Glass bottles, you're probably going to find old homesteads in a lot of places that you're at. Hey David, how you doing, brother? You're probably going to find old homesteads that were out there from 100+ years ago, or an old camping, a hunter's cabin, something like that. Um, don't feel afraid to go into those places and take what you need out of it, because it's coming to keep you alive. People think, oh, if I take something from this shed or this barn or whatever, or if I find something here, I'll get charged if I come back to society. No, you won't. I mean, in an emergency situation, you can use a laser pointer, okay? You can use a signal mirror to signal planes. You can use the laser pointer to signal planes also. It's against the law to do that stuff in a civilized area, but it's not for a survival situation. That's where they're going to be able to find you and easier to find you. Right, David. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of old things from the past that's out there, especially down south. If you're in the Dixie South, southern places, you're going to find a lot of old homesteads, a lot of old hunting cabins, stuff like that. Because that was a daily life for people. They would go, leave their homestead, go out into the woods to a cabin that they built wherever, so they could capture game, capture whatever, and process it there, then bring the remains back to their homestead. Um, a lot of them have been demolished. A lot of them are. Hey Beth, yes, welcome, welcome to the lovely bunch, or the Hair Bear Gang, or you know twiddly winks. What are they called? What are they called? Kitty Boo Boo. The aliens. The aliens from that kid show. That have like, you know, weird things on their head. Sorry, but here's something. Wherever you are, wherever you are, you can find this. Oop, oop. It's called a clean canteen. KLEANKANTEEN. All right. This is one of the biggest ones that they carry. This is a 48 ounce um, single wall, single walled stainless steel um, canteen. Um, it has a no leak stopper top on it. Um, it's wide mouth also. So if you can find these things, get them. Uh, they're also strong enough. I've seen commercials for this brand where they've had huge SUVs and everything drive on top of it, and they've been literally crushed, but the bottom is still usable, and it's still usable with dents and everything in it. Uncle Grandpa. Where's Uncle Grandpa? Yeah, yeah, it would. It would. Ron, brother. Hey, Ron, you need to get a hold of Davy Poo Pants over here. You need to get a hold of this guy, Ron. Ron, you need to get a hold of Mr. Davy Delicious Lickable Limeade, because he wants to get in touch with you about some stickers and maybe a patch. So talk with Dave, sir. But anyways, clean canteens. They're lightweight. They're easy. I mean, it's full of water, and I'm carrying it. I'm swinging it with one finger. Look, it's not even bending my finger. That's how lightweight these things are. Okay, a lot of through hikers, a lot of lightweight backpackers. Hey, Kill Hut, how you doing, brother? Hey, Nightmare, how you doing, brother? What's up? But use those. They're lightweight. They don't take up any space. You can also get a basic water shoulder sling pouch and carry it with you. It's got a wide enough bag that you can even, if you need to, you can put a survival kit in this. But as long as you have that as your water source, I mean, as your water container, you can boil. You can boil water. You can collect water. You can carry water with you. Um, and I know a lot of y'all go out to wherever and whatever, kind of like Kill Hut. Kill Hut's always in the desert areas. You know, he's always in hot areas, so he needs that extra water. Um, but always carry water with you wherever you are. And I don't want to hear anybody saying, I hate the taste of water, because that's just a bullshit excuse for you to continuously down energy drinks or whatever because you diminish your taste buds and you need that sugar and everything on your tongue. Right, Kill Hut? Right, brother. But I mean, military surplus and stuff, they have like 2 liter carrying water, water containers and stuff like that. But the thing about that is those 2 liter military issues are flexible like rubber. You can't boil water or anything in there. So you have to find another way to purify water to carry that in. And I'm sorry, but carrying 2 liters of water, especially on like a sling, hurts. It hurts a lot. But carrying 48 ounces with you, it doesn't hurt. Um, I don't, Ron, you are going to start drinking more and more water, sir. Your body has to get accumulate, accumulate, accumulated, accumulated. Hmm. Hmm. That's like aluminum. But anyways, that's the one thing. That's the one thing everybody needs. Everybody needs water, no matter what situation you are in. You could be scavenging, you could be prepping, you could be doing whatever. But the one thing that you need more than anything else is water because you will die in 3 days and in the worst way possible without water. Acclimate. That's it. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Dave. Body armor is kind of like here's the thing with body armor, Ron. You can't drink body armor straight all the time because it has coconut water in it. And people that are not acclimated to coconut water, and if you do prolonged use of body armor, it will give you diarrhea. That's what coconut water does. It gives you diarrhea. It gives you the runs. It's a natural enema, I guess. I guess you can call it like that. But drinking too much of one thing hurts you. But drinking too much of water can hurt you also. You can also get water poisoning. I mean, it's it's hard. It's hard to explain that you need this one specific thing, even though it can kill you. Yeah, coconut water dehydrates you also, but like fresh coconut water won't. But preserved coconut water will dehydrate you. But if you're on a desert island, it's not going to dehydrate you because it's fresh, pure coconut water. But if you get coconut water that's been sitting on a shelf that had added flavors and chunks of fruit and stuff in it, because I know there's a lot of like healthy places and everything that add this stuff to add flavor to it. That's the stuff that is healthier for you, but it's bad for you too. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. But Anyways, back to scavenging. Okay, scavenging is a two-way street. I mean, well, technically, it's a two-way street in urban survival. In urban areas, that's all you're going to be doing in a worst case scenario. You're going to be scavenging the remains of buildings and human remains, pretty much. Um, but in nature, you are more, they consider it foraging instead of scavenging. It's the same damn thing. You're scavenging. I mean, you're scavenging for wild edibles. You're scavenging for ways to make your shelter. You're scavenging for all this stuff. So why not use the exact same knowledge that you would in in an urban environment? How you doing, brother? Yeah, sorry about that. One one of the homeless came in, and I didn't mean to put the camera that way. I thought I turned it off, but it's the thing, and like he took the bus. He took the bus to come here, and he missed his other bus. And I was like, bro, this is a museum. It has a bus stop connected to it, but this is a museum, you know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it was crotch cam. But Dave, you should have liked that view, sir. But anyways, yeah. So survival. Alright, scavenging. Stuff like that. We all know what's man-made items, correct? We all know how to handle man-made items because that's in our everyday life. But these man-made items will also help you in other ways besides what their intended purpose is in a survival situation or whatever. Um, so it's up to the individual to learn how to to scavenge, upcycle, reuse. There's there's plenty of things that you could find out in the middle of the world. There's more to find in cities, yes. I'll also keep weight on your agenda, you know. Don't overburden yourself thinking that you need everything that you find. Yes, always stock up on rope-like materials. You will always need rope. You'll always need lashings. You'll always need something to tie something. Tarps, um, heavy plastic, drop cloths, stuff like that. You're really not going to find those particular items out in the wilderness unless you come up to like a party camp or something like that where teenagers like to go and party. Then you could find some things that's probably left by a lot of redneck kids that that's an what if situation. If you're near a party camp, that means you're not that far away from civilization, so you don't need to raid that little party camp. Um, it's like in Sweden and stuff, you know, for lost individuals, they make they make and put food, wood, all this stuff into these survival cabins for individuals to use if they're surviving. The only thing is once you're back to, you know, whatever, once you're back to civilization, all they ask is for you to donate food and supplies to restock these survival cabins because they have helped hundreds of people that have been lost out in the wilderness. Um, but if you do find a hunter cabin or something out there, you know, or if you find an old homestead or something, you know, if it's not demolished or whatever, and it's still in good condition, probably somebody is still using that as a hunting cabin. So the thing is if you can find paper or whatever, leave a note. You know, if you can find paper or you can, because you don't need a pencil to write. You can get a piece of charcoal and write and do the exact same thing. So get a piece of charcoal, either out of the wood stove, something like that. Write on that piece of paper that you are in a survival situation. You need food. You need to use the resources that is here. And like leave a phone number or your address or something and say, get in touch with me and I will replenish whatever I took. I will help, you know. I know people are saying, but what if they don't contact you? Whatever. At least you tried to be, civilized. At least you tried to do something. Um, like in Canada, even on the bayou, Louisiana, you know, some places of Mississippi, people will, if you're in a swamp area or a place that have big bodies of water, a lot of people will put older canoes that they don't want anymore on the sides of lakes or whatever. And that's also kind of a thing saying that younger kids can take it and play and learn, or if it's a survival situation, the person that needs it can actually get on the body of water and escape from where they are and try to either go downstream or upstream and find civilization. There is a lot of things, especially in the South, where they know people are stupid and they know people lose their way. People get trapped and everything in the woods. So they do their best to leave these resources and stuff like that around so you can get back to safety. But that was from an older generation. It's not like I haven't really seen older canoes or anything on riverbanks or anything like that in a long time, you know, because for one, canoes are expensive, and for two, ain't nobody got time, especially when they're working a full-time job and all this stuff, to go out in the middle of, you know, bumblefuck swamp and put a canoe out there anymore. Um, so those are rare finds. Those are rare cases. The majority of the stuff that you're going to find is plastic bottles. And yes, you can boil water in plastic bottles. Yes, you're going to put chemicals in the water, boiling it in plastic, especially if it's older, not today's standards, BPA free plastic bottles, whatever. a lot of a lot of them now, and the way that you boil water in plastic bottles is you make a trifold, okay? 3 sticks, make a trifold, tie them, bind them together. Make a hanging stick. All right, brother. make a hanging stick. Put the hanging stick where it's a kind of like how a 5 would be. One one should be at a 90-degree, like a, not a 90-degree, but more like a 45-degree angle, so it can hook onto the bindings. And the bottom one should be on the opposite end. The bottom branch should be on the opposite side of the top one, so you can hang your pot or hang your plastic bottle, whatever. Don't put it in the fire because it will melt. You hold it at least maybe 2 to 3 inches above the fire and let the flames lick around the bottom of the plastic. And the water inside of it, even though it heats up, it still is keeping the form of the plastic bottle, and it won't puncture because the water is keeping the flames at bay pretty much. Um, so you could do it with pretty much any plastic bottle. It's better it's better to find like a 16-ounce bottle, something like that, because it's thicker at the bottom. You can do it with a 2-liter bottle if the 2-liter bottle are like the older 2 liters. But mostly you want to use 2 liters as your water container. You don't want to boil in 2 liters because they have a thinner plastic. They will melt. Um, so pretty much if you find 1 or 2 2-liter bottles, use those to contain your water. Use the 16-ounce bottle to boil your water in, and you always have an abundant source of water with you. Also, sorry. Also, with 2-liter bottles, it's good for collecting wild edibles. It's a container. You can drop nuts in it, you can drop berries in it, you can drop wild sorrel in it, you can drop anything in that and keep it safe. Same thing with if you're in a wetland or something like that where the wood isn't dry, you can put the wet tinder, fire tinder, or bark or whatever in those plastic bottles, and you can drain that tinder from its water, and you also have a fresh, clean drinking water also from the remnants of the bark. Um, because all you do is need to air seal it with a lid and let it do its own thing. Um, Another thing with plastic bags, like if you find plastic bags that don't have too many holes in it or anything, you can wrap green shrubs or anything green with the plastic and there overnight. Morning, dew collect on plastic bag, and you can get maybe teaspoons of drinking water for green plants that you can drink out of. Plus, also, plastic bags, they're good for holding stuff, whatever. But the longer that it's been out, the less tensile strength that plastic bag has. So you may think that because it's a plastic bag, it's going to hold, but you can load it up with 2 or 3 handfuls of berries and find out that that bag's ripping, especially going through the wilderness. um, always. Yeah, you can find lighters, you can find flint, you can find all this stuff. But the thing is, most lighters are either going to be waterlogged, but the good thing about them, even if it's a busted lighter, it still sparks unless it's rusted. Um, if you find a, half of a lighter with the spark, with the flint still in it and the head, you have a way of creating fire. Um, it's it takes a lot to do. You have to pop off the silver casing around it, the wind guard. You have to hold it directly into the tinder that you're going to set on fire. And you have to grind, because the way sparks work is you have to build up the temperature. Ferrocerium rods, they, on the other hand, are not like flints. Um, Ferrocerium rods can strike and create a flame from, I don't know the exact scientific temperature of each one, but it has different heat. But flint, you have to continuously send those sparks into one area to make it hot enough to catch on fire. Um, and it's a lot of work. It is. It's not like, you know, how it normally works. You need to you need to take all this into consideration. A lot of people get excited. A lot of people get excited because they will find a lighter on the riverbank. That is wonderful. You know, I'm glad for you. And, maybe, hopefully it works for you. And it's not waterlogged or anything. But 9 out of 10 times, that lighter, that fluid that you see is water. Um, and a lot of times also, they're the cheap lighters. They are the cheap, dollar store brand lighter that will fall apart on you after multiple uses. Hey Jamie, how you doing? Hey kitten, how you doing? So always take into consideration what you do find. Um, but the majority of stuff that I've found being out in the wilderness is always plastic bottles, always aluminum cans. Aluminum cans is something that will always be around. Um, if they're not damaged, if they're not crushed or anything like that, you can make that as your boiling pot. Um, Aluminum, alumi- aluminium to my UK friends. Uh, it's a go-to. You always want to try to find, aluminium or aluminum, however you say it. I'm good, brother. I'm good. But one thing is those kids will will fold in on themselves. they will become weak after a while. And trying to find a perfectly preserved beer can, Coke can, something like that that hasn't been destroyed by nature or wildlife trampling on it is rare. It really is, unless you see it literally floating down the stream and you're able to get it. There, you can also create other things with these cans. You know, you can make a flash lure. You know, you can, because fish are attracted to shiny objects. It piques their hunting sense. So if you can literally break something down and use it for another purpose, do it. You can make fishing hooks out of the pop tab from it. Um, you can make a out of the rims of it. You can make spear points like for frog gigs or fish spears, stuff like that. Because the rim of Coke cans and the bottom side of Coke cans are the sturdier part of the metal. Um, you can completely crush one of those and make a spear point out of it, or an arrow hole, or whatever. But I don't think anybody's got the time or the skill to literally make a bow. So don't think that you're going to go out there and you're going to be Rambo or Robinson Crusoe and find all these magical items out where you're at, because you're not. But if you're lucky enough to find this stuff, there's multiple uses for metal. You can literally also cut open the side of the can and use it to process animals with instead of dulling the blade of your knife. Use the sharpened edge of the metal, grind it onto a piece of rock to make it razor sharp, and use that as your utility tool. Because your knife is only going to be good for so long after using it for everything. And I hope anybody that goes out into the wilderness or whatever does have a knife on their side. But, and also if you're in a scavenging and survival situation, don't be squeamish. Because I'll tell you right now, when you're starving, anything and everything looks good. Even even your own body will start looking good. And another thing is, don't rely don't rely on thinking on natural that you're going to find meat, that you're going to be out in the wilderness. Even if you're able to find a lot of the stuff to self suffice yourself, if you're able to find fishing line but no hooks or anything, yeah, use it as a game trap. Hey Cassie sis, how you doing? Hey Deanna sis, how you? Right, David. Yeah. I mean, people need to look at homeless for like urban survival stuff like that. I mean, I've learned a lot of stuff from homeless. I've learned to use tinfoil, be able to grab a potato, fold it in the tinfoil, fold it up in the tinfoil, put it in the muffler of a truck, and heat the potato up for 15 minutes if it's running. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do in a perfect, technically not perfect, but a better scenario where you're able to get a lot of things. You know, I'm not, I don't, I'm not bashing on homeless or anything like that because the homeless are good teachers. But in that same thing, you can't take a homeless person that's been in the city all their life and throw them in the wilderness and let them learn that way, and all their skills that they know in survival situations in the in civilization won't help in the wilderness, but some do. Some do. Some have been in the wilderness, but a lot of them haven't. Has just been a lot of them has just been roaming the streets, surviving that way. Like, I have a few cousins and everything that's been in and out of jail. They're homeless. Hold on, y'all may lose me for a second, but I'll be right back. I'm in the elevator now. I did my rounds. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, so did my rounds and everything. Now I'm going to put some food in the microwave and eat. Yeah, like there's a lot of techniques, a lot of stuff that not everybody remembers. Not everybody's going to. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, see, there's some that's good at wilderness and urban. There's some that's just good at wilderness survival. There's some that's, good at just urban survival. It just depends on the person. You know what I mean? Um, look at all the people. Look at all the people on Skid Row. Like half of those people know urban survival, half of them know wilderness survival, and them both. Anyways, yeah, kind of back, I know. So, I was at Dollar Tree, right? I told y'all about Dollar Tree. Well, they have this Eat Regal set of rice and everything. They got Spanish rice, and it's 8.8 ounces of rice that's ready. It's like an you have to if you're heats it up, it's ready to go. That's what I was saying, but yeah, like it just depends on the individual. Everybody of my so I'm like a review how how good this is, Spanish rice wise. See if it's tolerable. You know what I mean? Because I gotta tell people, get stuff. It may look good. It may, like, if you're doing preps or you're doing like bushcraft food or whatever, get stuff that you will eat. Try things while you don't need it to see if you'll like it later on. Um, because you don't want to stock up on food, especially people that tell you know, MREs are a different beast for everybody. You may find somebody that loves, like me. I love the spaghetti and meat sauce MREs, but a lot of people hate the spaghetti and meatball MREs, like the meat sauce MREs, because it was something that was a daily given item in the military. There was a majority of this, spaghetti and meat sauce all the time. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, anybody that's been in the military knows what I'm talking about. I mean, if you were in the military and you were only served and given one exact MRE every day, you get food hatred of it. Like, you don't want it no more. And that's what I try to tell people with preps and everything. Always stock up on spices because you don't want to eat the exact same pinto beans and rice and bread with the exact same flavor every day. You're going to get to the point where you don't want it. But if you are creative and you can create in different ways with different flavors, it's the exact same thing, but with a different smell, a different taste. It's it stops you from going into that flavor hatred. But since we've never been, since preppers and survivalists and everything have never been bad situations to where we are prepping for, it's just a glorified idea, you know? It's they believe that all this stuff that they collected, all this stuff that they're eating is the perfect meal. It's going to survive them through the apocalypse and beyond. That's not true. It's not true because you're going to get sick of that same flavor. Um, so always stock stuff that you will eat. Throw in different flavors. Throw in different ideas of creating that same dish. Always keep multiple different recipe books with you also. Because the thing is you may have pastas, you may have all this stuff and everything, but you only know one way of making it. Hey Amber, how you doing, sis? And if you only know one way of making something, we're in a day where we can go and get food from everywhere, right? So we don't have to worry about gravy, mashed potatoes, sausage every day. We don't have to worry about that. Every morning, you're not eating that exact same meal. So your stomach craves it sometimes. Your mind craves certain flavors all the time. But if you're in a situation where that's the only thing you have and you're eating it breakfast, lunch, dinner, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you're going to get tired of it. You're going to start going into food like you don't want it. Your stomach don't want it. You'll get to the point where you want to throw it up. So stock your stock your pantry, stock your preps as like you're a 5-year-old child again. You know, stock it with an assortment of flavors that you will eat. And like, and easy to prepare meals also, because not everybody in a SHTF situation or anything like that is going to have a means to prepare a meal that takes an hour to create, especially if you're in an area that you don't know, or if you're out in the wilderness. You don't have time to do this stuff. Like bushcrafting channels, they go out into the recreational wilderness and T-bone steaks and all this stuff and making hamburgers on a fire and living the 5-star luxury food, idea. You're not going to do that in a situation, in a bad situation. You're not going to be doing that stuff. You're going to be opening up a can of sardines or Vienna sausage or you know, what made the UK and America so great? Spam. You're going to be eating spam. You're going to be eating stuff that's on the go that don't need to be cooked because they're already pre-cooked. And it's going to be cold. In a survival situation, don't look forward to a hot meal every day. Hot and ready, something to boost your morale back up. It ain't going to happen. A lot of the stuff in a wilderness situation is you're scavenging cold plants. You're eating raw plants that nature has literally picked over, peed on, walked through, done everything in the world on, and you're now putting it in your mouth. The tools that people need for urban survival. Urban survival is a different beast than natural wilderness survival. There is going to be a lot of breaking into places. You're going to need to pack your bag, your survival bag, as if as if you're going to rob somebody. That means crowbars, pry bars, hammers, screwdrivers. And don't think, oh, I know how to pick a lock because I bought a lock picking kit off of Amazon or whatever. Here's the thing. 9 out of 10 people that have a lock pick or anything have one of those easy pick pressure uh, guns. Hey, Danny, how you doing? All right, so it's great. Okay, we're going to try this. And here's the thing. Pack your go bags. Pack the things with lightest weight, like these core meals. Cheddar and broccoli pasta, okay? Cheddar and broccoli pasta by Nord. These things have been around since 1938. $1 for this. And this can feed up to 2 people, all right? Most people are going to sit down and eat this in one sitting. But this exact same process, the exact same process to dehydrate this is the exact same process that you're going to go and buy camping meals out of. This is $1, okay? The exact same portion and size for one of those Mountain House meals or Westinghouse meals or anything like that is $8 to $10 for the exact same thing. Look at that when you're prepping, because they claim to be dehydrated, that they claim to be dehydrated survival food. any damn food is a survival food. It doesn't have to be dehydrated to be considered survival. And it doesn't have to be in a camping section to be survival. You know, all this stuff. Both of these, this Spanish rice, this 8-ounce Spanish rice, and this, you know, 4.3 ounce pasta cost me $2. And this can feed me for 2 days, you know? Well, a normal person for 2 days. Because y'all don't have to worry about extra food. I do. That's why I stress on food. Because food is your energy. Food is what you need to live. Besides water. Water first, food second. Shelter is like sixth on my list. As long as I have fire, food, and water, I'm good. But anyways, let's try this. Let's see how it tastes. All right. Okay. So we got the Eat Regal Spanish rice. Okay. It's like Uncle Ben's, other things like that. So all right. So this one comes with tomatoes and peppers. Okay. I know a lot of people have certain restrictions. They can't eat anything. Like Miss Star. Miss Star can't eat this because it has tomatoes in it. She is allergic to any family of the nightshade, you know. But she can eat tomatillos. That's the good thing. So anything tomato in it, that's why we have to prepare differently with our preps. She has her own specific preps compared to what I have. Because she can't have tomato. And 90% of stuff that you get has tomato paste, has tomato powder, stuff like that. This is, I mean, it has flavor. It's good. It's rice. It's not hard or anything like that. It will do the job. Um, the expiration date on it is February 27th, 2025. So it's got a 3-year shelf date on it. You need stuff that has 3 to 5 year shelf date. The Nord, okay, the dehydrated, its expiration date, shelf expiration date, is December 7th, 2028. Okay, 2028 for this. That's good. You need that. And all you need for it is hot water. It says to add milk and margarine and all this stuff in it to enhance the flavor. But you don't, because it comes with a flavor packet in it. It's kind of like ramen noodles. And the good thing about these packaging, the packaging like this, it's like RE. You rip it open, pour the hot water in, stir it, let it sit and rehydrate. It's good to go. It doesn't have a zipper on it, kind of like Mountain House or anything, but you can fold it. You can fold the top. Pack these in your survival bag. Pack these in your scout kit. Pack these in places. You can pack a crap load of these compared to other things out there. You can pack 8 to 10 of these and it won't fill up or be at even a quarter of the weight cans will. Um, that's another thing. Look at weight. Always look at weight. That's the thing that's going to hurt you in the long run. Yeah, you can go titanium, you can go do whatever you need to do, buy these top end products. But the thing is, if you buy just a quick $5 3-piece mess kit that the Boy Scouts use, and it's $5 for it at Walmart. It's aluminum. It's a clamshell. It comes with a frying pan. It comes with a plate that can be used as a dish or as another fry pan. It has I think it's like a 2-quart uh, cooking pot in it with a lid for $5. It's the strongest thing in the world. No, but it's going to do the job for you. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of you, like David. David and and people he knows and everything, go to ancient sites. They are constantly out in the woods. Okay, there's no sense in carrying an 80-pound sack with them on top of all the other gear that they need, and have that extra weight on you, because weight throws you off balance. We are not meant to carry another damn human being on our back and truck through the woods. We're just not. We weren't born as snails. We weren't born as turtles. It throws us off because it's not an everyday carry. Right, Dave? Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I brought these up and everything, is because I know you carry a lot, but these things are easy. You can stock up hundreds of these and carry them wherever you need to go. You know, and that's it. And you got the water, you got the means to boil the water, and you already got a bag to cook it in. You don't even have to waste anything to cook it, because it all comes in one go. Like MREs, MREs are meals ready to eat. Heat up and go, or you can eat it cold. Only bad thing about these is you can't eat them cold. Hell, you could eat this cold. You don't have to heat this rice up. It's already pre-cooked. It's pre-made. You just eat it. I know we're pampered. We're pampered wanting a hot meal and all this stuff. But how many times have you went to a fast food restaurant and you ordered something and it comes out cold all the time? Right, right, David. That's all you need to do. It's just like any other situation. You pack what you need and you get with you. You know, yeah, you can pack extra food, stuff like that, just in case emergencies. But because you never know when something's going to go bad, you just don't. So putting an extra two of those more meals into it, or whatever, it's not going to weigh you down anymore. And if something bad did happen, you have that extra food. You're not just prepared for that one day. You are prepared for the alternative. Um, there is, in the world of survival, we have been, yeah, oh yeah, but like in the survival mindset, stuff like that, especially with all these fear monger websites, it's there's a website that has scared everybody forever. You need this kit for this situation. Yes, sir, David. Yeah. Then you have these YouTubers that are supposedly survivalists too, and they fear monger you. And then at the end of their episode, they're like, "Oh, purchase these items from my store. Purchase this. You need this item that is $1,000, or you need this item that's $300." But you can get the exact same thing from a discount store on a discount website, the exact same brand for $100, or from that company's website on a clearance section. You know, it's good. It's good to watch these other people. Don't get me wrong. It's good because they have more knowledge, because they sit and all they do is check this stuff. That's their business. You see what I do for a living. You see where I'm at for a living. You know, my my break area is a garage. Is a garage, and I'm a security guard. Yeah. So the thing is, I have a microwave. That's all I have. I have a microwave. These people are getting paid. Oh, hi. These people are getting paid to sell this shit, from these companies and all this stuff. But I'll tell you one thing: when they go on their trips and everything, they never use any of the stuff that they sell on their websites. They use other gear. They use other companies' stuff. That should tell you something, you know? Everything I have, I bought from I've bought the bargain of hunting club. Same individuals used to part hunting. They passed away. I mean, I'm on a budget, you know. I don't have the money. I don't have the time to go out and review all this stuff. I would love to. I would love to be a reviewer, you know. And I would love to give you my God's honest opinion on this stuff that people are spending money. But I probably will never get to that point. I probably won't. But all right, everybody. I, I know that hell, brother. People have been prepping for the not for the wrong reasons. People have been prepping for in the moment preps for the longest time. I mean, during the nuclear fallout in the 80s and 70s, people were literally building underground bunkers and stuff on their land and forgot all about it. And people now buy those houses and find that there's a huge livable underground bunker in my backyard that I can live in. I even seen those underground bunkers go on Airbnb for like almost $1,000 a night. Live live in history. Live in the 70s, in the fear. And people make money on this stuff. But all right, everybody, I'm gonna get off, and because I only got like 4 hours left, and now I'm gonna have like 2.5 now. So, all right, everybody, I love y'all. Y'all take care, and I'm gonna eat my rice. All right, bye. Love y'all. Bye, family.